got a big mouth. Came out there. I talk from my heart. I'm real. You know what I'm saying? Whatever comes. But my controversy probably. And it's not my fault. I'm trying to find my way in the world. You know, I'm trying to be somebody instead of just make money off everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so I go down paths that haven't been traveled before, and I usually mess up. But I learn, you know what I'm saying? I come back stronger. You know, I'm not talking ignorant, you know what I'm saying? So I obviously put thought into what I do. Your karma, everything that you do bad comes back to you. So anything that I'm doing that's bad, I'm going to have to suffer for it. But in my heart, I think what I'm doing is right. You know what I mean? And I think heaven is just, when you sleep with a good conscience. You don't have nightmares. And hell is...
What's going on, you guys? It is your girl, Queen Quee, and this is Hot Topics. Let's jump right on into it. Netflix responds to Dave Chappelle backlash and confirms his comedy special will not be removed from Netflix. I'm just waiting on my story to load. It says, following critics voicing their opinions about Dave Chappelle, himself responding to the controversy, Netflix has finally issued its stance on the award-winning comedy latest stand-up special, The Closer. According to the news report, Netflix sent a memo to employees confirming that it would not be removing The Closer or ending its long-standing relationship with Dave Chappelle. And just to sum it up, it was basically saying, of course, Dave Chappelle had got a lot of backlash for criticizing I want to say the gay community and different stuff like that. He was doing it, he was being a comedy, and I don't think that it was more so of him criticizing. I think he was giving an opinion about something, and so therefore it became an uproar. So they was asking for his special to be canceled and stuff like that. What do you guys think? Do you think that when when comedians go too far on certain subjects and stuff like that, when it come down to sexuality, when it come down to livelihoods and stuff like that, as far as like killings and stuff like that, and murders or rape and stuff like that, do you feel like that should not be a topic that should be discussed or during their stand-up skit? I'm so sorry. But doing their stand-up skit? Or do you feel like, hey, that is what, if we cannot get the raw uncut of freedom of speech from a comedy, then what's the part of a comedian doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the point if they can't be their stuff and make light of every joke? I have known the hardest and the toughest and the most people that have went through the most are the funniest people, that you can imagine. And truth be told, a lot of their stand-up comedy is coming from their personal experience. So sometimes it can definitely hit somebody close. I think Ricky Smiley, he used to do something with Lil Durrell. And it was a special ed kid, and he was saying, like, even though some people loved it, but you also had people that had to deal with the simple fact is they had a special need relative or a special need family member or a friend or something like that, or a child. And so he used to get a lot of backlash from that. And then I think it was something I was listening to the radio. Steve Harvey was kind of like, he was like, you would never know what a person going through. So you basically don't want comedians to joke about anything, because to be thinking about it, he said he did a show about driving, and he was like, I'm not even gonna lie, I did a joke about drunk driving, not drunk driving, but I think I told him I had got towed up, and then I caught myself going home, and I was really jacked up after that. And he said a lady came up to him after the comedy show. It was just like, I just want to let you know, I really do hate what you said, and it was so disgusting. And he said he was taken back because he like, whoa, what did I say? And then she basically was saying like how this was her first time getting out and doing something, because her daughter had just experienced being hit by a drunk driver, and she's in recovery and stuff like that. And Steve Harvey said he did feel bad. He was like, because I didn't know. He said, but he said the way people talk and act towards you, he said it's kind of like you will look up if you tiptoe around every subject that is basically the main, the main things that can really bring laughter to certain people, then you will never be successful. So a lot of people was on the fence because they were just like, well, golly, every time somebody go up against the gay community, then therefore, they going in and they want to counsel them and counsel them and take them off their shows and radio stations and stuff like that. But y'all wasn't saying nothing when he was doing a Dave Chappelle show and he was doing R. Kelly pissing on little girls, and he was doing skits about slavery and being beat. It's like, even though it was a comedy thing, but it's like nobody ever thought to cancel him back then. But all of a sudden, when he say something about a certain type of people, all of a sudden, that's when y'all draw the line out there 15 or however long he been in the business. Come on now. So I don't think it's kind of like, keep that same energy. I'm just being honest. Like, if y'all so appalled about what he said about a certain type of people, keep that same energy when he was doing slavery and talking about golden showers and stuff like that. But Netflix said, listen, we ain't canceling nothing, partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dave Chappelle barely even comes out of retirement. Let's just keep it real. Dave Chappelle is the same person who got out the business because it wasn't certain stuff that he was going to compromise with. And I don't like Dave Chappelle's comedy. I ain't gonna lie. I know a lot of people like, oh my God, you don't like Dave Chappelle? I never really thought Dave Chappelle was funny. I'm just being honest. So I never watched the special. But even when I used to see, like, I seen a couple of clips on the internet, and if anything, he was I was getting a vibe where he was doing jokes, but he was bringing knowledge and wisdom to people. Like, yeah, y'all taking this as a joke, but this is real. And truth be told, they'll be the funniest people, the people that be dead ass serious about their material, and they're telling a story or trying to, bring stuff to light. And people think that is so funny, but in reality, it's like, this is the truth. And so a lot of stuff that he said, to me, honestly, it was the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did a joke, but then he also brought it to reality for the people to kind of like see it in a better light. Like, see it in this light. Yeah, y'all laughing, but I'm trying to tell y'all, watch and see, or see how this stuff is being played out. So Netflix decided to say they standing with him, and let's just keep it real. If it ain't about the money, don't be hitting me up. Don't be wasting my time. And so Netflix like, y'all better go on somewhere. Take that. It's the Hulu or somebody else special, because we ain't trying to hear it over here. We ain't giving back no money. We ain't finna cancel, because they know. And let's just keep it real. Publicity still sell. Good or bad publicity still gonna sell. So people was up here making a big deal about that and wanting his special to be canceled. Do you not know people probably that never even heard or even thought to look at the special? They gonna watch it just because they want to know what did he say, or they want to be in the loop. So that stuff is going up and up, and you think they finna snatch it? No, that ain't gonna happen. Okay, so Mike F's ex-wife says comedian cheated on her with his now new wife.
Okay, so now you're trolling with women on Twitter and all that, and then I made a comment on that. Well, I did something just like some eyes looking like I see you. Okay, so now you on a blog with your new wife. Y'all walking in New York. You still married to me. And still having sex with me. Ooh. Then all of a sudden now you're filing for divorce. You still was having sex with me after that. Okay. So now I'm thinking that at some point it clicked. Not too long after the filing, I'm like, okay, so this person is in a place where they feel like they want to do what they want to do. They file for divorce. Why would I fight for something for you? You're not being right towards me in your. Okay, so now you.
Okay, so that was actually Mike F's ex-wife, and she basically was exposing how, she started noticing different type of things that he was doing and cheating and stuff like that. And now a lady that he basically took a picture with and said that was just a friend is now his new wife, and saying how even when he filed the divorce, she was still giving up that poo na na. Now, I just wanted to bring this to light, as the simple fact is that ladies, hey ladies, why is it that men can do us so wrong? Why is it we just decide to keep holding on? Period. Go listen to Destiny Child Writing on the Walls, because they had some songs that's gonna speak to your soul. But I would just want to let people know, first of all, this goes for both ends, because she's upset, and I don't think she's more so of upset. She was just she was just making people aware that, hey, be mindful that my husband, I noticed that he was like, doing little stuff and moving a little funny and messing around with little women, and this thing, he's back married. He's back married to somebody else, and they just had a baby. And this is the lady that I remember him saying something to on blogs or whatever. So yeah, so I do think that ladies, be aware and read the signs, because I mean it's easy for us to talk crap about Mike Epps and how, oh yeah, he divorced her and he fell for divorce, but you see the key words, he. You talking about you left some eyes, you left some eyeballs to let him know I see you, and I see you flirting with other women. I see you, saying this and saying that, but it was he that fell for divorce. So if you let him have the upper hands from the jump, stop holding on. And then after he filed for divorce, you were still giving up the coochie. How? How girls lose 1,000 points off the rip, and how boys get 1,000 points just because it's like you played with your own self when it came down to it. Now you upset because not only did he file divorce, you was still giving up that coochie to him because y'all wasn't legally divorced yet, and then he turned around and filed divorce shit and then move on to a whole nother woman. That is the reason why you gotta stop trying to up one person. You see what I'm saying? Like, stop always feeling like, well, yeah, he's saying he wanted divorce, but I'm gonna put this on him, and he ain't going nowhere. You let him take your own happiness. You allowed that. So I ain't really with that. I mean, a lot of people are like, well, she just speaking out, she ain't being bitter. But at the end of the day, what are you trying to say? You said that to say what? Because you said when she said he filed for divorce, and then had the audacity to turn around and say, oh yeah, and we were still having sex after he filed for divorce and he was dating her. So who that makes look a fool? You think that make the other lady look a fool, or do you think that that's all on you, baby? So yeah, so my ladies, be mindful. Stop always getting upset. And matter of fact, while we're on to that subject, that brings me to my next subject. Georgia mother of 5 allegedly killed by married boyfriend while pregnant with their unborn, shot up her car. Get into this crazy story. An unexpected mother was killed by her married boyfriend, according to People magazine, while responding to reports of car crash. Georgia police discovered 29-year-old Miss Ware suffering from gunshot wounds in her bullet car. Her car was shot up on a highway. Per the report, police believe that she had allegedly been followed by her boyfriend before he attacked her. I went to the scene and could not believe that somebody had shot and killed a young mother of 5 children. On top of that, she had a baby inside of her and resulted in death of that baby. Okay, it's unclear what's the motive of the attack, but Ware's boyfriend Alonzo is believed to be her killer. Okay, so basically they're oh my god. In the words of Nene Lee's, keep your legs closed to marry men. So it is so sad, because what people fail to realize, when you get into a situation with people that are already into a situation, therefore, nobody suffered but the kids. She had 5 kids. 5 kids. So this man not only was married and probably already had kids with his wife, he decided to lay down with you, make a whole nother child on top of your 5 kids, because you had to be a single mother of 5 kids. You decide to have a 6th kid with him. So in the midst of you being pregnant and everything going good, and you thinking, oh yeah, this gonna be the right man because he came up on you and stuff like that, and he accepted you being a single mother with 5 kids, you decide to lay down and have a baby by him, and then turn around in the midst of your pregnancy. A lot of people were saying that he did not want to either have a baby, or he did not want to be able to have to tell his wife, because he knows that by her having a baby, it could definitely, ruin his life on his end. See what I'm saying about the selfishness? Like, okay, and now this lady have lost her life, and on top of that, her kids, 5 kids. Just imagine, knowing that one of your parents died behind a love entanglement. You see what I'm saying? So like people, women and men, please be mindful. Let people go. If you don't want them, if you don't want to deal with them no more, let them go. Because you keep on trying to persuade them to be together and, oh, let's work this out and we can do this and we do that. All it does is just intensify the toxic shit that's going on. All it does is going to make the other person more madder and madder when you could have just really ended it out peaceful. And a lot of people like, well, nah, it ain't that easy. And we got this and we got that. Stop saying we got kids involved, because half of y'all asses, if y'all felt that way, then you would not be cheating. You would not be sitting up here sleeping with somebody else that got 4, 5 kids, but you worried about if you leave your wife or your husband, then it's about the kids. Come on now. It ain't about the kids, because your happiness, your peace is what does matter. So if you're not happy and you're not at peace, then how can you sit up here and move on? Like, how can you sit up here and say or feel like, okay, yeah, let this work? That's all. Like, it's so scary out here. And I just wanted to bring that stuff to people's attention when it come down to it. Like, stop playing with your livelihood. You know, like, even when you do find out, ladies, move on. Fellas, move on. If you feel like that she lied and she got baby daddy issues and she letting her baby daddy bust her down and, you know, spread her wide and all that type of stuff here and there, and all he got to do is call and say he want his family back, and she run back over there and leave her alone. Same way with women. If y'all feel like, oh, he was already in a entanglement and, oh, I won't do it, no, leave him alone. You see what I'm saying? Because you need to understand, you wasn't meant to be here. God ain't put nobody, man or woman, to be in position to be number 2. Some of y'all is a fool to think that, oh, the best you can do is be a coleslaw, a side piece. Nah, baby, I'm the meat. You know what I'm saying? You gonna, baby, I'm a tough piece of meat at that. I'm well done. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna get full off this meat. You gonna eat them sides when it ain't enough. You know, you want a little something to nibble on, but that meat, you gonna pay for that meat. The meat is the most expensive thing on the menu. Come on, somebody. So let's keep her kids in prayer. Let's keep you know, and stuff like that, because now these kids are motherless behind that. Okay. Let's get into the story with the young man who basically his mother now, I think I talked about this in one of my podcasts, and I was just basically saying how the mother was very concerned she felt that her son was murdered, and she felt like the police was not keeping the same energy that they do when it come down to white people, just to sum it up. She just felt like, hey, I don't feel like he's getting the same news attention. I don't feel like he was taken serious, no callback, no investigation. But then as soon as Becky ended up coming up missing, it's Amber Alerts, it's y'all going to one back. So let's get into the story.
Body was identified several weeks ago. The family says law enforcement hasn't been forthcoming about details of the investigation, and after several instances of mistreatment and disrespect from officers and the coroner, the family hired a lawyer and private investigator. They also got a private autopsy done, or independent autopsy done. After the first one failed to find a cause and or manner of death, Carmen says the second autopsy left them with more questions than answers, including if the body they were burying was actually her son.
Either they did something to this autopsy wrong, or whoever did something to my child, they mutilated my son. And I need to know what happened to him. Because Jelani would have did nothing like that to nobody. He wouldn't have hurt nobody. Jelani shouldn't have been like that. I didn't even get a chance. His brothers and sisters didn't get a chance. His dad didn't get a chance. When people die, you're supposed to be able to make peace and see them. I couldn't even see my baby. I couldn't even look at him because I was scared to look at what that was. But then I had to hear 2 days later what the autopsy report said. And I should have looked at them because I should have seen what they was looking at.
Okay, so basically she
the second autopsy revealed the body was severely decomposed, almost down to a skeleton. She says that there were signs of trauma to his brain. He was missing his eyes and also his genitalia. So many more questions that need to be answered. The family says they also still need help getting those answers. They've hired an odontologist, but also are looking for a forensic pathologist to get some of those DNA questions that were potentially answered the first time around redone just for clarity, but much, much more to go. The family has vowed to get justice for Jelani. Tashani, back to you.
Janine, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, that was Jelani. That was the young man that had basically was found. Well, they ended up finding him. He also went missing, and then they ended up finding him. And once they did find him, they were saying that, as you can see, his eyes, his genitalia was everything. His body was disposed to the point where they could not have an open casket or nothing. And his mother is still looking for answers, because at the end of the day, even though they did find his body and then they did notice that he was missing body parts, some people was like, oh, it could have been one of them type of trafficking things where they cut up your body and sell them off in different type of parts. She did come out and say that was not the case. She said that this was a murder, and they're trying to figure out what happened or what causes and who did this, and she wants answers. Hopefully she's able to get the answers that she need. I can only imagine, especially you're dealing with your child being dead. On top of that, their body is destroyed. Their eyeballs, their genitals, their arms and legs and fingers and all that type of stuff is somebody deliberately start attacking their body and cut it up and did all this type of stuff. What caused that? So we definitely cannot be upset or feel some type of way with her. She was looking for answers and she got them, and then she's still going. But that's not the answers. I mean, of course she knew that something probably happened to her son when her son was dead. But just imagine your child die or your child is found murdered, but then not only that, their body is cut up and they missing body parts. Like, no, that's something to look into. And I hope that the FBI and different people look into this case, because that is scary, because it has to have a trail to something else. And that is something that needs to be off the street. So I hate the fact of them, and the main thing came down to is because he's black, they're not taking it as serious. Because if it was a white person, and I'm not even trying to make it a big deal about the race, but they feel like if it was another color, a white person, let's just keep it real, because I ain't gonna go hard like that with them Hispanics and Mexicans. But if it was a white person, they would have been doing this investigation for years. They would have been all on it. You know what I'm saying? And let's just keep it real. That's true. Because I feel like even with that John Bonet or that young girl that was in the pageant or whatever, them people still to this day doing specials. They got about 20 different specials, and they still can't find. Well, they saying it is the parents, but they still can't pinpoint nobody. They still talking about they looking, and that lady probably would have been in her 40s now. She was still living. So it's kind of like crazy how it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we found the body, and we did the autopsy, and this and that is what we found, and this is what's going on. So we're sorry to let you know. No, get into it. Like, run some paperwork, look into that, because if that was a white person, they know they would have been on it. That it would still be on our news and on our mind, because they want to know who is out here so vicious. So let's just keep his mother definitely in prayers, because that's something that I can only imagine that that's taking a toll on her and stuff like that. And I hate to even let her hear that. Okay, before I close it out, let's talk about, since we were talking about the breakups and different type of stuff, Lala breaks silence on her ex and her divorce. She was saying that it really hit her hard. Let's see what she had to say.
But it's been years now since then. Like, to a lot of people, it feels like this single thing is new. Like, it's been years now that we've separated and stuff. So I've dealt with the emotions behind it, and I still have my moments, but for the most part, I can talk about it now and laugh about it and find, the humor in it all. Otherwise, I'll be a basket case.
You have to.
I already went through that part.
Were you really bad?
I was bad because it was public. I was bad because there were other people involved. I was bad because there were allegations. It got bad. And I'm not a person to ever put my business on social media. I'm not a person I've never spoke. This is the first time I've spoken about it. By the way, I've got offered red table talk, I've never talked about it, but you're my friend and I'm comfortable. But it's like, so many times you do want to say, oh, you guys really want to know what happened? You want to hear it from me, but you hold it in and it's like, oh, La's doing good. She looked good on the gram. It's like, no, that shit hit me really hard. But it's been years now since then. Like to a lot of people, it feels like this single thing is new. Like it's been years now that we've separated and stuff. So I've dealt with the emotions behind it, and I still have my moments. But for the most,
so that was Lala Anthony basically saying, because I think I did a segment on Carmela Anthony, her husband, not only giving birth to another, like a daughter that's probably like 3 or 4 years old now, and then on top of that, she dealt with the rumors coming out about him getting another lady pregnant that actually had twins, and he was trying to keep that a secret. But she said up and said, she said this is something that's been, we've been separated for years, and the divorce is finally final. And everybody always want to talk, what happened, what went wrong, and we need to understand that a lot of people do not feel as comfortable, because like she says, that you don't know a lot of people that's involved. Some people don't speak on different situations, especially family and health and stuff like that, out of respect of their kids, out of respect of their family members and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, it's not the fact that they're trying to hide it in the void and trying to be sneaky and, oh yeah, they trying to act like they don't know what's going on. Everything is not meant to be shared with people who do not care, and that is not going to help the solution. Whether you for her or against her, it's not going to help the solution. And I mean, a lot of people feel like, well, she pretty and oh yeah, she did this and she did that. Like so many people are so ready to nitpick her and ask her, what did you do? What did you do? Now he the one who lied and cheated and got other people pregnant. But as the woman, it's kind of like they're looking at her. They want to know what does she feel? How do you feel? How would you think she feels? She's been with this man over 10 years. They have a kid and everything together. So just to even think that people are so open to talk about their personal life and stuff like that, no, they're not. And I don't think that should be held accountable. What do you think? I think I talked about that one time. Do you think that celebrities, since they like the first to support them and, know certain stuff or whatever and support their business and their TV shows out there, do you feel like it's okay for us to know personal issues? Like, for us to be closer in that type of realm? I think it's not healthy. That's my point of view, because I go through stuff a lot. I go through a lot of stuff, but when you see me, you would never see stuff on the internet. You would never see me going on there bashing the father of my kids, or or bashing a relationship. I tell somebody, look, I done probably had 3-4 relationships in my phone. Y'all don't know about none of them. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't been, they didn't came, and they didn't left. And it's all because at the end of the day, and I like it that way. Privately, I used to get called sneaky a lot. I don't understand it. Like, people, like, it's a difference in being private and sneaky. And like they said, it's a difference in keeping your significant other. It's a difference in keeping your relationship private, or you just being sneaky. Like me being single, you see what I'm saying, or portraying or whatever that I'm single, and then I'm probably dating. Dating is a whole different thing. I'll probably be talking to somebody, dating them or whatever. If we haven't made it official, of course I'm not fair to put it out there. And it's the way you can carry yourself if I was taking a person serious. Like, yeah, you might be looking at me like, oh, she's single, and I could be, I could be with somebody. But at the end of the day, when you approach me and you try to take it to another step, well, let's go out on a date. Can we hang out? Oh no, thank you, I'm good, because somebody got my attention at the time. But yeah, so I don't think that everything is meant to be shared unless it's somebody that for, like, if you stand with a person, if you guys are in a relationship, if you like stuff like, or you're married, yes, those are things that you need to let people know up front. But when it comes down to relationships and stuff like that, it does not have to be broadcast for it to be official or for people to take it serious. Like, that's people that need validation. I ain't gonna lie, I be feeling real jinky. And somebody said that all the time. They say, like, soon as you start bragging on the motherfucker, that's when, shit start getting sour. I feel that way about tattoos. I really low-key feel that way about pictures. I'm like, it's something as soon as you snap a picture with a dude, he didn't piss you off and said something or did something, and the embarrassment then came. So it's best to leave a lot of your personal life when it comes down to health and relationship wise and family. Keep that to yourself. Now, it's okay to share if there's something you're comfortable with, because I feel like sometimes that is good, because you could be helping somebody else speak out about anything, whether it's abuse or just anything. So what do you guys think about that? Thank you guys so much. That's going to wrap up this podcast. Please like, share, comment, and tune in next time. Mwah! What's going on, everyone? I'm so happy you decided to join me on this journey called Podcast Life. We will be discussing topics like celebrity gossip, life lesson, politics, and etc. This is a judge-free zone. Think of me as that homegirl that is so down to earth that you feel like you've been knowing for years. Remember, over here at the Boomerang Effect, the motto is never judge a book by its cover before opening it up and reading it. And remember, it's okay to agree to disagree. Just stand on what you're saying. Got it? Period. Please like, comment, share, give feedback, anything to help this podcast grow, because it is a voice for the people. So, love, peace, and unity.